Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, we're going to jump back in here to the old speed run. See what we can come up with. 15-10. Here we go. Just got off work. I am tired tonight. My goodness. I had to work day shift last week. And I'm supposed to go in at 3 p.m., but they had me coming in at 9 a.m. last week. So I asked my boss Friday, I was like, what time do you want me to come in Monday? He's like, come in at normal time, 3 o'clock, be all right. I was like, all right, man. I went to bed last night at like 3:30 a.m. I got up at like 11. I woke up at 11 and rolled over to see what time it was, and I had 3 missed calls and a voicemail. It was my boss wanting me to come in. I'm like, dude, why don't you just have me come in at 9, you know? So anyway, I didn't get enough sleep, got up, had to go to work early, and tired. And then I can't get a game, apparently, which is nice. Here we go. All right. 709. So I think this is our highest rated opponent so far. Okay. All right, well, we're going to take it. So I think that this is the move that he has to play here. Now, straight away, like I've said in all of these videos, the F-pawn is where our opponents keep getting into trouble. So this doesn't strike me as a tremendous start. Straight away, I have this and this, but I don't think there's any need to go crazy here. Now, this move is going to expose the attack on this. So now, if you're going to give me a free pawn, I'm going to hold on to it. So if I play this and he goes here, can I do this to try to hold on to that pawn? Yeah. So let's play this. So now when he... Okay. So this is a pin here, right? That's pinned. But that's all right. So he wants to take that. This, he recaptures. I'm still going to be up a pawn. So let's just keep developing. He's going to take with check, and I'll play here. Actually, let's play here. He does this. I'm going to play here. And then just castle. See, now this is what I was saying the other day. This check doesn't really do anything because I can just play this. And then you've got to waste a move getting away from this attack. So we'll just castle. Just going to castle. He's opened up his F-file here, but the problem with this move is going to be this. So, all right, if I could play this move, this pins the queen to the king if he does, move there. So, how do I defend that square? Well, I could do this. He does have this pawn push here, though. I have that, but then that. Then I go here. He could defend like that. Let's go ahead and do this. Now, if he castles here, all right. So this opens up a pin on this guy. There's no real attack here. That's not a threat. So let's go ahead and play this. That's defended. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put pressure on the queen here. Open up the rook on the e-file. And let's start trying to put some pressure on him here. We're up a pawn and fully developed. And he's about to start dancing this queen around here because he's under pressure. The queen's under attack here. All right. So what does that do? Well, he's hitting that. But this just flat out threatens to win material here. So if I go here and he plays that, I go here. I also have this. Here. If he castles, he loses the piece. Yeah, let's go ahead and just put pressure down the what do you call it here? This is a checkmate threat. Sorry. This just loses the bishop. So now what? All right. I can't come straight back to here. I have that. But now this is a problem because, well, actually it's not. Actually, it is not. I have that. If he takes, I have that. Here, he plays that. I play check. He goes here. I play this check. If he goes here, I don't want him to play that, but I guess I could actually take this. So if I do take this, that comes with an attack. That's a fork. So you take here, threatening both of these. If he plays that, you take here. I don't really want to do this. Part of me wants to just take this and hit that rook. He could play here, but that drops this. This is defended. I'm going to take this. Now that's hanging and that's hanging. If you move here, I'm going to take that. You go here, I'll still take that. That drops the rook. So, you know, all right, look. I do have these two pieces that haven't been developed, but look at all of his pieces. The king and the queen are leading the charge here. And this is just not good. This isn't, I mean, you've got all of these pieces on the back row here. You've got no pawns in the center of the board. And, you know, where did you go wrong? Well, right out of the gate, you gave away a pawn. The most important pawn, the F pawn. This is your most important pawn. In the beginning of the game, your F pawn is the most important. Now, you could make the argument your D and your F pawns are important, but this is the pawn that protects your king, right? Your F pawn. Oh, that one. Oh, that one. These two. So pushing this and just giving that away with absolutely no compensation, none, is just not great. And of course, I could play this and start to bring my pieces out here like that. But, you know, at this point, I mean, you're in trouble. I could take that. If I played this... All right, first of all, this hits the queen. And if he trades, then we're happy. But at the same time, I have this, which forces this, because he can't do that. Or I have that. Also, that's hanging. So let's actually take that. It's defended by the rook, so I'm offering a queen trade here, which obviously he shouldn't take. This guy is undefended, but he's got no way to target it. Also, this is undefended and under attack. So you got to be really careful here. You don't have either of those. You don't have any of these squares. You don't have that square, that square, that square, that square, or that square. That square, that square. So basically you got these 3 squares to choose from if you don't want to trade queens. And he chooses that one. So again, same thing. F-pawns. I didn't realize what an issue that was with the F-pawns, but clearly it's a problem. It is a problem. I'm going to take like this. It doesn't win material, but this brings another piece out into the attack. And this cuts it off from going here, so he can only go back. And now I think you're about to walk into a mate. Yeah. So let's go back and have a look at this. So E4, F5. And look at that evaluation. Plus 1.4. That's a terrible move. All right, he does follow it up properly with the knight. And then I go ahead and play here. And then he just gives another pawn away. I don't know why. And now I'm just going to develop. We're just going to develop our pieces. He checks me, just walks straight into a pawn. Right? So it's plus 2.5 here. You're down 1 pawn. But look at the position. Now, right here, okay, losing your F-pawn is not the end of the world if you play it right. It's playable to push the F-pawn. Now, at this level, you really shouldn't be pushing your F-pawn. Not that I'm trying to gatekeep on, having fun with chess. If you want to push it, push it. But you can see, objectively, the computer hates it. So you shouldn't really push the F-pawn. But the compensation you get for this is an open F-file. But how do you get the compensation, which is your open F-file? What makes that good? It's when you castle, your rook has an unobstructed view of the F-file. So you're putting pressure here, and if you could get this guy here, right, something like that, maybe your queen gets over to here, or I'm sorry, your queen gets over here somewhere, something like that, and you put tons of pressure here. That's the idea. But instead of castling, which he can do here, he does this, which I don't understand at all. Because your bishop can't develop here. It could go here. But, what are you doing here? What is this guy doing here? If you want to develop a piece, just bring a knight out. But what you should do is castle. And the computer says that. So he pushes that. It loses half a pawn. And now I line up here because look at all these pieces, man. Look at all these juicy pieces lined up right here on the E-file. I'm going to put a rook here and put pressure down the E-file. He gets out of the way, and I hit the queen. right? So this forces him to move the queen again, and it reinforces the pin on the king. Now, if you go back just a couple of moves, if he castled here, if he castled and then I slide over, right? Well, now you could just go and slide like, well, you got to get out of that. But maybe you go, here or something. And whenever I move this bishop and I hit that, well, now this guy could move maybe back to here or something like that. And you've got some kind of safety, right? But when you do it like this, now I'm doing it with tempo. And this guy's pinned, this guy's hit. You slide over. And now I just put all the pressure in the world down the e-file. So instead of being able to castle, like you could have just a couple of moves ago, he steps out of the way, and look at that evaluation. He loses 3 points of material, but it goes from plus 2.7 to plus 9.5. I mean, this is catastrophic. So we take, win the bishop, force the king out. I take the pawn. Why not? He drops back. I take the rook. He drops, move. Now he's trying to develop his pieces. He gets a knight out, but then he drops a knight. Right? And the problem with losing this knight is now I'm hitting the queen, and you simply cannot afford in this position to not have a queen anymore. The only chance that you have is to somehow get a checkmate. So you cannot allow this guy to fall. He does this, which just drops your queen straight out. And, from here, I screw it up, but... and the reason, by the way, that I take like this, instead of taking like this, is if I take here, my knight can move. The pawn is a little bit different, right? I mean, I guess I could push it, but from here, I go ahead and take the knight. If you take, I'm just going to pull this guy right in here. I like it better. It's not winning material, but as you can see, this is how I do it. Forces him backwards. He doesn't play the move. But the bishop cuts this off. You can't come forward because the pawn. So that's taken by the bishop. This is all taken by the rook. And then when you come back, then my queen can come and cut all this off. And you're about to get ladder mated in the center of the board. That's what you're about to walk into. So anyway, when you get... So to kind of come full circle here, when you see me play a game at any level, right? Whether it's, doing one of these games in the Speedrun series here, whether I'm playing, an 1800 on Lichess, I'm playing a 2000 on chess.com, or I'm playing, one of the beginner series games where we, play against beginners. Whatever series I'm playing, Blitz, anything that I'm playing, I play the Ruy Lopez. This, and this. Every time. That's what I'm trying to play. Now, if you force me to play something else, okay, I'll play it. But that's what I want to play. And the reason is because I get to castle. And if you delay castling, just like in this case, now, again, he plays a little bit of a dubious opening, but clearly this guy has some idea of what he's doing because he brings the knight out and avoids all the danger that comes with doing that in the beginning. But, okay. All right, so we bring the queen out. All right, simple stuff here. Okay, but from this point, when he plays this move, instead of castling, from this point, the game is lost. It's over. It's over. You should prioritize castling, and I say this all the time. At this level, hanging pieces, which he hangs this, he hangs this, he hangs this, he hangs a whole bunch of stuff. The F pawn, don't push it, which he did immediately and opened his king up. And then and the last one, hanging pieces, F-pawn, and castling. He broke all three of the rules here, and that's the things that you really should be paying attention to and trying to make sure that you get done in your games. Castle, no F-pawn pushes, and make sure that your pieces are not hanging. He hung his queen, too. Hung his queen. So, again, this is 700. This guy's rated 700. So, I mean, if you're trying to get to this level, that's what you need to do. Okay? So, anyway, if y'all like that, like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys learned something. Y'all have a good day, good night, whatever it is where you're at. See you all in the next video. See you guys.